So you see that we are no longer stranded on the sandbar.
Yay!
So here's what happened.
So we had gone through an area. We had been going through some rough areas, and so at this point it was kind of calm. So we decided to take some pictures, and with Rebekah's really nice camera. And so she gave me her really nice camera, and I'm unrolling the dry bag and getting the camera out, and the raft, what do you call it, your raft?
The pack raft?
Pack raft, yeah. Mm-hmm. Was turning to the side so I could get a good picture of her behind me.
Because I've said to you guys how, like, as soon as you stop paddling, you immediately start turning.
And that's what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And the second I'm starting to unroll the dry bag,
I go, Julie, heads up!
And I look over and I'm hitting a hole that I had to be like 6 feet wide. And it was like doing a circle.
The pack rafts are probably about 6 feet wide.
It was,
and it's maybe a little shy, but the hole was as wide as them.
Yeah, it was big. And so I saw my raft go in and flip up and over. And my skirt was stuck and first did not come out, and you had that same problem too.
I had the same problem. So I watched this happen, and then what's it called? Object where basically paddling or biking or whatever, you don't want to look at the thing you want to avoid. You want to look at where you want to go. Well, I was so focused on her, I was looking right at her, so I paddled right into it. Yeah. But she went to the left, I went to the right. And
so that's how you were able to go to the sandbar easier, or kind of towards the sandbar easier.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going a slightly different
direction. So I flip, and I can't get my spray skirt.
Really, you can get your spray skirt off either.
And it's amazing how those, like, probably milliseconds feel like minutes.
They do. They really do. And
it popped, and I came up, and first thing was, like, I had my paddle and I had my boat, and I took a deep breath.
And I had...
It's cold.
My paddle, my boat, and her camera, and I was determined to keep her camera, even though I was thinking, you know what, I was unrolling that thing and it wasn't closed, so it probably is not
it's already
dead. But for some reason, when you're in the spur of the moment, you're like trying to do all you can to make everything good. And a couple times my paddle got away.
Because one time I saw her hand come up, and one hand had the dry bag, and I was like, oh, and then the other hand came up with nothing in it, and I was like, where's your paddle?
Yeah.
So
and my boat. I had boat, dry bag,
and paddle.
And the paddle was floating away.
Then you got the paddle.
Yeah, and so, yes, but one of the challenges I was having was my life jacket wasn't fitting.
I heard about your...
Yeah. So my life jacket wasn't fitting. Well, get in the water and your life jacket floats up. And my helmet was already down to here. And so my life jacket was hitting my helmet when I'd look up, and it was pushing my helmet down over my eyes. So that is something that I am going to be very aware of from now on. That I have a helmet that stays up here, and that when I look up, even if my life jacket is up, it doesn't push it down over my eyes. Because if you get flipped and your helmet goes over your eyes, I couldn't see anything. I could see like from the water to here, and that's it. Because anytime I looked up any more than that, my helmet was over my eyes. So that was really kind of freaky.
I can't imagine that.
Freaky. Yeah. And when I realized that she had flipped, I really was I was very concerned. And she, so yeah, I got my boat, my raft flipped one time, flipped it over, but our packs, another lesson learned, were not strapped super, super tight to the raft. And so as I'm flipping it over and as I'm getting in, the boat pulls, and my pack is so heavy with water that it actually pulls the boat back over, so it flips it back upside down.
Don't have any counter.
Yeah. And so at that point, I couldn't get my boat. I couldn't get it to flip back. I mean, my pack was too heavy and it was weighing it down. And I tried numerous times.
So I get upright and I try to flip it because I remember that you want to be downstream and push against and hope that the flow of the water will help flip it. So I'm trying to do that. Really struggling, so I'm like, okay, just keep paddling, just go toward the sandbar. And I had on my rain boots because I thought they'd be a great pack rafting thing. They're not.
Helps keep your feet dry, right?
Yeah, but unless you go in.
The first one, so great.
The first one came off, and I was like, that's all right, just stay alive. And then the second one is hindering me, and I'm like, wait, I already lost the first one.
Water.
Just let it go. So I let it come off in the water, and then at that point I'm able to swim. So I get I'm swimming towards the sandbar, and all of a sudden I can just barely touch the bottom. So I use that and like push off the bottom, because I know I'm not supposed to stand up in rushing water. So I push off the bottom and use that momentum to push up on the boat, and I get it past the like flipping precipice, and I get it back over. And so then I'm like, whew, time to get in the boat. So I kick up there, and the first time I don't make it. But just yesterday I had practiced.
I'm so grateful.
Oh,
Seriously.
I practiced getting into my boat. So I took a deep breath and I was like, you can do this. You did it on your first try yesterday. I just got bit by a bug. So I take a deep breath and I kick really hard, and I do get in the second time. So then I get in and I turn on the camera, and you guys, I don't know where the footage will be, but it's in there. I start paddling towards Julie, but I'm like mildly hypothermic, so I'm struggling to paddle, and it's taking me forever to get to her. I'm cold. Oh, I'm cold.
Well, so at all this time, I'm looking and I'm seeing, I don't know if she's, when I finally see her, she's far away, and all this time I'm trying to flip my raft, and honestly, really and truly, didn't know how I was going to make it. I really didn't know how I was going to make it, because I couldn't get my raft to flip.
I just hope she's okay. It's a long time to be in this water.
And I couldn't see when I looked up. I was looking one direction. The closest surface to me was trees, and I knew not to go over the trees. And so, eventually I decided I was going to have to let the camera go, because I could not hold the raft, the camera, and my paddle. Yeah. It just wasn't working. I couldn't do it, so I just had to make
Which is the right choice. Absolutely the right choice.
It was a hard choice to make, though, because it was a nice camera. And so I just let it go.
And the beautiful pictures, guys. You won't understand how beautiful it was because we didn't take other pictures. But the whole Alaskan range
so
is
pretty.
out and crystal clear, and we're down on the water, and the angle is just beautiful.
It was so incredible.
But it's here. Hopefully it'll be there forever.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know where your camera. Sorry. It's okay, Julie. It's just a camera. Take a deep breath, please. Take a deep breath. All right. We're okay. You're alive. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. Okay.
The river's going fast. What, 10 miles an hour?
Yeah, I read somewhere it goes, the average water's like 10 miles an hour.
And it was a fast
Please
spot.
don't quote me on that, though.
It was a fast spot. It seemed like it was going really fast. And it was, 38 degrees?
Yeah, something like that. We tried to look it up, and the history of it stopped in 2016, so we can find it.
Yeah, so we think it was around there. And really, really cold, trying to figure out, not sure what to do. So the whole time I'm thinking, God, if I'm going to get through this, you're going to have to get me through it, because I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I just don't know.
So I finally get down to you.
Yeah, and I look up at one point, and I see Rebekah upright in her boat, and there was like, oh, glimmer of hope. And then I thought, if she can make it to me, it'll be okay. And then before I know, I mean, it was a little while, but then eventually she was finally.
So I get down to you, and at this point your pack is totally waterlogged. I don't know what it was like earlier, but I can't even like pull it up onto my boat. Your pack is waterlogged. It's really heavy. Okay. Oh. Can you push up on it so I can flip your boat? So after several tries of attempting to flip it, I have the idea to just take it off and put her pack in my boat.
Yeah, because we didn't have quick release straps for the packs. So, and I couldn't, there's no way I could.
It's webbing with 2 D-rings. So it's great for like cinching it down and not having any sharp points, but like if I was in that situation and was like, I have to get rid of my pack.
Yeah.
But, more so, don't be in that situation. Have the pack solidly attached to the raft.
Right.
Let me take this off. Okay. I'll just put it in between my feet for right now. And can't get her in, and then another standing wave. Because it had been what?
You think it'd been like 10 minutes, right?
I think, but we'll know after we see the footage that's on here.
Right.
But there's another standing wave, and I'm coming at it fully sideways. So I'm going downstream on my left-hand side. She is holding onto my cockpit right here, and then her raft is right here. And I'm going into it, and I'm like, we're going to flip again. And I just was like, God, keep us alive, keep us alive. And I got like 2 strokes in because I didn't want to smack her in the head. And the boat's in the way. So, like, I just think it's totally God that we made it through that standing wave.
Seriously.
But you gotta hold up. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God, protect us. Oh God, protect us. Okay. Okay. We're not gonna flip again. We're not gonna flip again. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, Julie. You're doing awesome. Okay, she can't get in the boat. We have to make it to the
Yeah, I look up and
sandbar.
finally see, well, she's thinking sandbar, but I look over and I know that I'm like cold. I didn't know the sandbar was anywhere close. But I look over to the side where we were closest to, and there was a rock cliff. I mean, it was probably at a 50-degree angle or so. I don't know.
It was pretty
Bunch
steep,
of loose rocks.
Really hard to walk up.
Yeah,
Steep enough that you take a step and everything just
comes down.
Yeah.
But I said, Rebekah, we got to get over there. I knew I needed to get out of the water.
Julie, this isn't working. We have to change, okay?
Really? Rocks over here?
It's really deep. It's really, really deep.
We can get to the side. And so she paddled and I kicked as hard as I could to get over there. And she had my pack, her pack, and her boat that had water in it.
It was like half full of water.
And she seriously, like, it was a lifesaver. I'm not even exaggerating. Threw my boat up onto the side of the cliff, and I stepped out. And
You got it, you got it, you got it. Kick hard, Julie, kick hard, Julie, kick hard. Kick hard, Julie, kick hard. Can you push that up there a little so it's not going to float away?
So you can say what I was doing, because I don't remember so much.
So she was moderately hypothermic. She wasn't shivering. Her symptoms weren't super coherent. Yeah, she just sat there. I was trying to get her to move into the sun or like get some layers off, get some more warmth to her, and it was bad. I was like, I think I might have to push my emergency beacon right now. Like, this is really bad. But I gave her a few minutes to see, and not long after that, she started shivering. And I was like, okay, like,
crazy
the shock
shivering.
is going back,
oh
and
my
she's coming back.
Like
Yeah,
jaws
but like
clenched
not
shut.
shivering is so much worse.
Oh, I know, but I was like, oh my, I couldn't talk because my jaws are clenched shut.
Yeah.
And my
so then she's
body's
shivering, and I'm like, okay,
shaking
she's gonna be okay.
uncontrollably.
We have to get off this like
huge cliff. But we have
edge.
to say we're sitting in like 10 minutes, and then we
look up.
Well, we hear these pebbles come down from above, and I'm thinking, oh great, so now a bear's going to come down. We made it to here, and now we're going to get mauled by a bear.
There's a bear. What are we going to do?
We didn't even say anything. I didn't want to even say that.
I was like trying to play it so
negative.
cool, like we're fine. And then I also look up, and directly above us is this huge, like overhanging section of rock, and I'm like, what if that's about to come down on us? And I'm like thinking through real quick, like what am I gonna do? I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna grab that, and just hope that she gets pushed into the water and not like covered. What am I gonna do?
She was the whole time she was thinking about how to save me. She was amazing, seriously.
No.
Yes.
But I'm also at this point, I'm still standing in the water because all that stuff is in my pack. I can't get it up that really steep slope. And there's like, the rocks aren't all super smooth, so it's like
They're
sliding
a lot of
down.
little bitty rocks,
and I'm like
gravelly.
I'm gonna pop my raft trying to get it out right here. So I'm standing with my feet in the water, holding on to the boat on the outside of this turn. So like I'm just standing there holding it, and I'm like, we cannot stay here. We have to leave.
Yeah.
Julie finally got warm enough, and I had the idea to use the throw rope to attach our two boats together.
Which is perfect.
It was a little bit of an extra adventure getting down to the sandbar.
Which the sandbar was, like, took us a couple minutes to get to the sandbar.
Yeah.
And
Trying to, at the very last, we had to cross the current, and I hadn't put enough distance between the two pack rafts, so my right-hand stroke was limited by her boat.
Hitting my boat, and
Her
my left-hand
left-hand
stroke
stroke
would be hitting her boat, so
we were really struggling.
between the two of us, we made it to the sandbar.
We made it. I just kept saying over and over, paddle hard.
I'm trying. We need to not be attached. Yes, we do. But I can't paddle because you're in the way. We're not unattaching. We're staying attached.
We're not going to unattach you. You're just going to float away. But we did get to the sandbar, and then I have all that footage of us laying everything out and getting warm. Not totally sure what the plan is. Gotta get warm.
Yeah, you pretty much, to get warm, you gotta take all the wet clothes off. So that's what you do, but at that point it's about survival. She was like Mrs. Ready and had warm, dry clothes, and I just laid on the sandbar. And
the one time I don't bring my down jacket is the time that we actually get wet.
It worked out.
So we got all dry, had a little snack, and got back on the horse.
Yep, got back on that horse. It was actually, I was nervous, honestly. I was trying to act like I wasn't, but I was nervous.
And so I was worried that we might get stuck in a spot where I needed to go hard,
Yeah.
and I really wouldn't have anything to give. But we made it.
We did. Well, yeah, until we get almost to our landing spot.
Do you want to throw them under the bus?
And and then there's a boat that we think didn't see me, and comes hauling between where these two rivers meet. So I'm hitting this rough water, and as I'm hitting the rough water, this boat comes
I had
around.
just crossed the Chulitna, so I was now in the Talkeetna water, and she was about halfway across the Talkeetna, and the boat comes roaring around. So I'm like, he's not slowing down. So I throw my paddle up in the air.
I see her doing that. I
and
don't
I'm
think he sees you, and I'm like,
around.
wait.
But then he did see her.
He came to
did a really hard stop, but that caused a huge wave.
As I'm going over these two rivers meeting, and the water's already rough, and I'm like, I can do it. Rebecca, paddle hard, Julie.
I just pedal hard.
I'm doing it. We made it, and then we got there. We made it.
We made it.
Yay! Now that's a high five.
I think that's
we're
the rest of the
alive.
story. We're dry and alive, and all the gear's clean.
That's right, exactly. Clean gear. She saved me. She saved my life. She saved my life.
Well, thanks for listening to our adventure, guys.
Yep.
Every day can be an adventure, one way or the other. See you on the flip side.
We made it! Woo! Yes!